Hello and welcome to this little analysis video. So I entered a tournament this week and so basically every other week we have a tournament on Wolf's Twitch subscriber Discord, and this week the theme is crap Pokemon basically. So basically what we're doing is we're having a tournament with Pokemon that are only 0.5% in usage or less on Pikalytics. Shout out to Squirrel with the banana, by the way. That's his username. He always organizes these things. Every other week there's a tournament. Really massive thanks to him. It's really great that he does these. I'd also like to thank my No, that's a different thing. So yes, here we are. So basically I'm gonna record all these matches that I'm playing. It's 5 rounds of Swiss, and then it's a few rounds of playoffs. We'll see how far we get, and I'm going to be posting those to YouTube as well, so you can see this madness in action. Yeah, let's just dive into it. So basically I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, whether I even wanted to play in it, because I do tend to pick Pokemon that are less used anyway. But what I decided to do was go completely bananas. I kind of want to start with the start, which is this thing. So basically some of you will remember that before Corsola was eaten by Marini, it was actually cute and pink. And it has one of the best abilities in the current format, which is Hustle. Boosts the attack by 50% no less, but lowers accuracy. So basically people never used to run this because, well, you're always going to miss your attacks. But with Dynamax in play, Dynamax ignores accuracy, so all of a sudden you have like a 50% boost to your attack and no drawback. For 3 turns, that is. So a lot of people have been playing with Hustle, like slapping an extra power boost on a Durant or on a Drake Assault. Some here have even used Flapple. That might even be me. And like I've wreaked havoc with that. Now there's a lot of hidden Pokemon like with Hustle that just do crazy damage for like, because the 50% is so significant. If you look on Wolf Glick's channel, you'll find he used Rufflet and Delibird for the same reason. And like, those are not actually legit. Like, there's a reason people don't pick those. Like, they're a lot weaker and a lot more fragile than the top picks. But that was basically what I went with. Like, Corsola is such a cute little Pokemon, and I just want to try it. And it's very slow, and it's actually, like, its HP is quite low, but its defenses are really good. Which is why Eviolite Galarian Corsola is actually popular in singles, or at least was popular for a while. I don't really follow singles that much. I know that it was popular at some point, because it just sponges stuff. Now, this Corsola is going to be all about doing damage. So I max HP, max attack, Hustle. I was slapping Weakness Policy on top of it, because that feels like ultimate VGC 2020 to me. So while this is with 0.5%, you can do everything you want with that you want in normal VGC. So basically, yeah, if I hit myself with a super effective attack or get hit, I'm getting a big boost. And like, people might not suspect it on Corsola, so they might trigger it for me. Also, I got a few ways to trigger it myself. But I'll get to that because it's a little bit of an old story. In terms of moves, I wanted to have Head Smash. Head Smash is like a base 150 rock move. Outside of Dynamax, it's probably never going to hit. It's 64% accuracy outside Dynamax because of the Hustle ability. But Dynamax base 150 rock move is really strong. Liquidation, solid water move, and then on the Icicle Spare, I wanted something to cover grass types because Corsola is of course very weak to grass types. And Icicle Spare gives me a strong max Hailstorm, and if I'm not Dynamax and I manage to hit that, I could break Focus Sash and kill through that, which is really solid. So that's basically, yeah, so basically it's just this is just supposed to be my powerhouse. We're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, I record this before the tournament takes place, by the way. So like, I don't want my mind to be corrupted by truth before I analyze the team. So basically, this thing is slow. So I'm gonna go over the rest of the team. So basically, what I wanted to do is just go hard Trick Room. So the first thing at first I wanted to have Bronzong because of I could just bulldoze and proc Weakness Policy that way, which would be very convenient. However, I had Rune Migas on the team, and I wanted 2 Gigamummies. I wanted both of these guys on the team together, and I had Rune Migas for the Disc Quake combination with Vikavolt. So basically, there's some choices that are suboptimal just for the sake of a laugh. The same reason is like Stonejourner is probably doing stuff that Charjabug is a bit better. But I want Charjabug and Vikavolt on the same team. Let's go with Charjabug. First of all, it's not a cube. Can't stress it enough. It's not a cube. It's a rectangular shape, so it's not a cube. And this has got a unique ability which boosts power, boosts ally special moves, which on this team is actually really only going to be that useful for Vikavolt. Like Vikavolt is going to be the primary receiver of that, which is why probably Stonejourner would have been a lot better in this place. And Stonejourner is legal for this format. But look at it, and it's got the best cry in the game. It's just perfect. It can't be improved upon. So yeah, we're using Charjabug in combination with its evolution Vikavolt. Items Eviolite, it's on evolved, so we can boost those defenses and actually make it quite reasonably bulky. In terms of moves, I went with Protect, Attract for laughs. Eerie Impulse lowers special attack from opponents, which could be good. Volt Switch is a way to proc weakness policy on Corsola, so I do have that option. I also was considering going for Screech, but I don't like the accuracy of Screech that much. So yeah, I stuck with this. Yeah, honestly, Screech was the first what I wanted to do, but like 85% accurate is just not great. Although despite it powering up like Runerigus and Cofagrigus as well, actually, because we're using Body Press on that. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit more. Yeah, Attract is not more consistent, but it's funnier, basically. Then there's Vikavolt. Vikavolt is a powerhouse in Trick Room. Life Orb boosts damage even further. This should be one of my primary Dynamax targets along with Corsola. Low speed, or actually the spread is just max special defense because there's a lot of special flying moves. Maybe not in this format, but in general. And fire moves that tend to be special as well. Vikavolt is just a powerhouse with a Life Orb for extra damage. Max special attack, max XP, low speed. And we got Bugbar's Discharge, Protect, and Energy Ball. So Discharge is because I wanted to use, like at some point this combination with Vikavolt and Charjabug came up in conversation, and we were talking about like how you could have like Choice Band Rhyperior alongside Vikavolt and like spam Disquake, and that's just super strong. So that's where this originated. Of course, I'm not using Rhyperior, I'm using Runerigus instead, but the idea is the same. And you can just like if you don't want to, if you don't have something that can take it, like I think Vikavolt is a very good target to Dynamax and just go bananas. Also, Discharge is a way to proc the weakness policy on Corsola. And if I recall correctly, Corsola, it's not a level 50, so I can't compare. But I think Corsola is a little bit slower than Vikavolt, so that's wrong. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, well it's unfortunate because in the Trick Room it will go last. Yeah, I think it's still solid, and like the only real downside about Discharge, of course, is the para chance, which is 30%. But yeah, this is fairly straightforward. Like I think Vikavolt is really strong. Like of course, bug typing doesn't help defensively, but yeah, it's just a very like it hits like a truck. It's like one of the highest special attack stats in the game, which is ridiculous, and it looks so sick. Cofagrigus is my substitute Dusclops, and honestly, Cofagrigus is a Pokemon I've been interested in for a while, because the thing is, it's not as good as Dusclops at setting Trick Room. Like, it's not as dependable, it's not as bulky, its defensive stats are a lot higher, its physical defense is a bit higher than Dusclops' even, but Dusclops gets Eviolite on top of it. Its special defense is higher, and the HP stat from Cofagrigus is a little bit higher, but not that much. So in terms of bulk, you're always better with Dusclops. What I like about Cofagrigus is the fact that its defense is so high, like its base defense, and it gets access to Body Press. So after setting Trick Room, you could just say, hey, boom, I'm gonna click Trick Room, and then I'm gonna smash stuff with Body Press, and that's what I want to do with this thing. I had considered going for Skill Swap on it as well. Which I'm not actually sure why I came back to that. I kind of want Ally Switch because I have no Follow Me user, so I do want something to at least sort of pseudo redirect. So Ally Switch I do want to keep there. Haze, yeah, the thing is, Haze is a very useful move, and I think a lot of people are going to be running a lot of weird weakness policy stuff in this format. So I think Haze is honestly a good idea. Like my idea was like if you can like skill swap, and like skill swap is just fun because you can steal stuff's abilities. Of course, Mummy already does that, at least a little bit. But you could also like, for example, have battery on Cofagrigus and then have like Cofagrigus and maybe Vikavolt next to it. But in the end, I didn't go for it. I think honestly having Haze is more consistent, and I don't want to really get rid of Ally Switch. And Body Press is the way we're doing damage. And honestly, with base, it's got base 140 defense, I think. I actually considered going for Key Berry as well. So every time you get hit, like if you get hit with a physical attack, you get an extra stage of defense. I went with Colbur Berry because Trick Room is very important on this team, and if I get one shot by a dark move, then that's really, really unfortunate. So yeah, I think it's probably for the best. So this is just basically this is what Dusclops does, but on Cofagrigus, and Cofagrigus does look cooler. Now the other Jiggy is Roomregus, and Roomregus is just is another sweeper, another Trick Room sweeper for me. People see Roomregus might expect another Trick Room setter. Instead, I went with Body Press, so another Body Presser, which is like, even though this one is max invested in attack, whereas like Cofagrigus is max defense, but like this is max attack, his defense is still a little bit higher than its attack. So Body Press is still a very, very good option. Earthquake, of course, like that's one of the moves we'll be wanting to click a lot here. Another way to proc Corsola, it does a decent chunk of damage. I think it does around 50% when Corsola isn't Dynamaxed. However, if you're Dynamaxed and you're already in Trick Room, I think honestly it will be fine to proc it that way. Like it shouldn't be the primary way, make no mistake, but it definitely is a way to do it. And Phantom Force is just a very, very good option, especially when you're playing around with Trick Room. You can like potentially save 2 turns if it's on the last turn of Trick Room. Now originally I had a choice band set on this thing. I changed it for Expert Belt because basically if you lock yourself into Earthquake, like if there's a flying type or whatever last, then like Roomregus should still be able to do good damage. But if you have like if you lock yourself into a move, it's very, very difficult. I think with an Expert Belt and Phantom Force instead, like we'll be doing less damage for sure. But I think it's probably for the best. And it gives us the opportunity to protect, so like that might be something that people not expect on Roomregus as well. Honestly, Roomregus is not a super common Pokemon, so like I know what people will be expecting. But yeah, it's just a powerhouse. It's basically what we had envisioned with Rhyperior with a friend of mine. But in a Gigamummy, which is cool. So we have the double Gigamummy, and like I said, Cofagrigus was originally supposed to be Bronzong. But yeah, I just think it's funny to have both Gigamummies. I think Bronzong is probably better for this team. I'm like gonna say it up front. I think this team would be better if Charjabug was Stonejourner and Cofagrigus was Bronzong. But we're gonna have some fun with these. And I wanted to try out Cofagrigus anyway, so we're going to do that. Then we'll go back to Corsola. And the last one is Aromatisse, which is, well, I wanted a secondary Trick Room center. Because Trick Room is so important for the team, I wanted 2 with them. Aromaville is very interesting because it protects everything from Taunt on the field, which is really cool. So I could have like Aromatisse on the field and Cofagrigus and like use one for Trick Room and the other for something else, but neither can be taunted anyway, so that's really, really good. Move Pool, Charm, so basically the physical variant of Aerial Impulse. We got Heal Pulse, which is really, really nice on Aromatisse. Trick Room and Dazzling Gleam just for some damage. And Aromatisse, like, it is a fairly offensive spread, so why is max defense? Oh. I'm interested that I went with not a quiet, but I think I just did wrong nature here. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna bother with it because I think it's fine. It says a little bit more defense apparently. I thought it was quiet. But yeah, it has some fairly good special attack still, and Dazzling Gleam with battery on the field is still gonna do a good chunk of damage. So, and the Heal Pulse is honestly really nice. Aromatisse is super, super slow, so Aromatisse is gonna move before pretty much anything on the field. Its base stat is 29. So that's really, really cool. Yeah, and the result of this team is quite fun, which is the goal of this tournament, of course, is to build something that has every Pokemon has less than 0.5% usage. Well, my most used Pokemon is Vikavolt that stands at 0.3, and the sum of all these together is not even 0.5. So that's another reason I actually added Aromatisse, because I wanted something with lower usage than what I originally I had Drampa as an alternative special attacker. I honestly think having Aromatisse with an extra Trick Room Center is probably for the better. But yeah, it's max meme time. We're having a team with no usage at all. I'm looking very much forward to this, and I hope that you will too. And I hope I will see you for some of the battles. Goodbye.